Cowboys need to look into acquiring veteran guard Will Hernandez to replace Zach Martin. This would be a great replacement for the future Hall of Famer. The 2025 season was always up in the air for 9-time All-Pro Zach Martin. After 11 seasons, it was clear that the wear and tear of the NFL grind were starting to get to him, and he even had to be shut down with a season-ending ankle injury. On Thursday, the inevitable finally happened when Martin informed the team of his retirement from the NFL. The Cowboys have some internal options like Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass to replace him at right guard. However, they could add a different player in free agency. Veteran guard Will Hernandez is a former first-round pick of the New York Giants. After 4 years in the Big Apple, Hernandez has spent the last 3 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals, and he's now an unrestricted free agent, with a market value projected at $3 million. Hernandez is a cheap option that fits the Cowboys' free agency mode. He is coming off a torn ACL, which limited him to 5 games in 2024, and he also missed 4 games in 2022 with a pectoral injury. This is why he can be signed for so cheap, which again goes right in line with how Dallas does business. The Cowboys have a strong tie to Hernandez. Their new offensive coordinator, Clayton Adams, was the offensive line coach for the Cardinals for the previous 2 seasons and worked with Hernandez directly. Together, they completely flipped the Cardinals' offensive line around and turned it into one of the more respectable units in the NFL. So Hernandez already knows how Adams likes to get things done and what his philosophy is. Once the Cowboys brought Adams in, Hernandez praised the move, calling him the right guy. Hernandez plays with the toughness and tenacity that the Cowboys desperately need in the trenches. He's been a steady performer with 91 starts in 97 career games. If Dallas made this move, Hernandez would be an immediate starter at right guard that would solidify the interior of the Cowboys' offensive line with Cooper Beebe at center and Tyler Smith at left guard. It would also allow the Cowboys to pick up another tackle earlier in April's NFL draft if they choose to. There are plenty of dots that connect Hernandez to the Cowboys, and he'll certainly be a name to watch for them once the free agency frenzy begins. Impact where the Cowboys can go at right guard with Zach Martin's expected retirement, Frisco, Texas. After 11 years as the anchor of the Cowboys' offensive line, future Hall of Famer, Zach Martin is expected to hang his cleats up after a career that saw him earn the same amount of first-team All-Pro selections, 7, as he did holding penalties, 7 in his illustrious career. Replacing that kind of talent and production is impossible, but Brian Schottenheimer and the Cowboys coaching staff are now faced with one of the first big decisions they'll have for the 2025 season. The good news is that Dallas has an all-pro caliber player in Tyler Smith on the left side of the line, and they've got both in-house and outside options to find his complement and fill Martin's giant shoes. Here are some directions that the Cowboys can go. The leader in the clubhouse to be next in line at this point in time is Brock Hoffman, who started 6 games at right guard in Martin's place after his season ended early due to an ankle injury that required surgery. "He's helped me a lot," Hoffman said of Martin back in December. "I feel like he's really helped the whole team, but specifically the O-line room, making sure we always play to that standard no matter who is in. He's really set the standard here for the Dallas Cowboys." In his place, Hoffman played 379 snaps at the right guard spot, giving up 2 sacks and 16 quarterback pressures. Known for playing with a chip on his shoulder and being the enforcer of the offensive line room, Hoffman is motivated to play his role at a high level if he is the right guard going forward. "I'm just going to do everything I can to honor that position," Hoffman said. Because being the right guard for the Dallas Cowboys, Martin's been the anchor of the O-line for over a decade now, so it's just honoring that position, honoring that standard that he set. "I've been ready my whole life." TJ Bass, who was Hoffman's backup, also saw some time at right guard after Cooper Beebe suffered a concussion ahead of Dallas' Week 15 game against the Carolina Panthers, causing Hoffman to move to center. Bass also spent some time at left guard in place of Tyler Smith in 2024 and has the versatility to play anywhere on the interior of the offensive line. Hoffman enters the 2025 offseason as an exclusive rights free agent ERFA, meaning the Cowboys have the exclusive rights to his free agency, and Hoffman is not permitted to negotiate with other teams should Dallas elect to bring him back, which they likely will. Bass is heading into the last year of his contract after the Cowboys picked him up as an undrafted free agent following the 2023 NFL Draft. Will the Cowboys draft their right guard of the future? Speaking of the draft, another option the Cowboys have is to select a collegiate prospect in April to either fill in or compete for the right guard job. Dallas has drafted an offensive lineman in the last 7 drafts, and they've come in the first 3 rounds 4 out of those 7 times. That being said, well, look at 3 options for the Cowboys in the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft. Tyler Booker, Alabama considered by many to be the top guard prospect in the class. Booker excels at getting good push up front in the run game and getting to the second level to create lanes for his backs. Has also been strong in pass protection throughout his career, allowing just 2 sacks in 3 years with the Crimson Tide. Has primarily played at the left guard spot during his time in Tuscaloosa, but played 168 snaps at the right guard spot during his freshman season in 2022. Donovan Jackson, Ohio State if selected. Jackson provides a versatile piece that can play at any of the 5 positions on the offensive line. The bulk of his snaps came at left guard for Ohio State, but he was also tasked with playing left tackle. After Josh Simmons, another top NFL draft prospect at tackle, suffered a season-ending injury and played well down the stretch, helping the Buckeyes win a national championship. Jackson is explosive out of his stance and can prove to be a long-term addition at multiple spots depending on where he's needed. Tate Ratledge, Georgia Ratledge, is one of the more experienced guards in the class and will turn 24 on the 3rd day of the NFL Draft after spending 5 seasons in Athens. He's played the most in his last 3 years, where he allowed just 2 sacks and amassed over 2,000 snaps at the right guard position. Ratledge had tightrope surgery on his ankle, which bothered him for a majority of the 2024 season, but when healthy is a mauler that exhibits great hand placement and is able to control his defender on the opposite side because of it. A dark horse possibility: could Cooper Beebe move to guard? In his rookie season, Cooper Beebe fared well at center for the Cowboys, allowing 3 sacks in his first season ever playing as a center. During his time at Kansas State, Beebe was primarily used at left tackle and left guard, but never snapped for the Wildcats and enlisted the help of his mother to prepare him for the job in 2024. Well, one of Brian Schottenheimer's staff hires was naming Connor Riley the offensive line coach, and Riley was the offensive coordinator at Kansas State during the time that Beebe was in Manhattan and loves the versatility that he brings to the table. I think one of the best things about Cooper Beebe is his versatility, Riley said in his introductory press conference with the Cowboys. Yes, he was a 2-time All-American at guard for Kansas State, but he started games at tackle and at right guard, or rather, at right guard, right tackle, left guard, and left tackle. So that versatility that he has really gives us a great opportunity to find the best fit for everybody up front. The key word in that quote is everybody, and while it's not a hint that a move could be coming for Beebe, what he's been able to do over the course of his career in college shows that it is an option. The center job was up for grabs heading into the 2024 season, and both Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass are options to slide into the center role should Beebe move 1 spot over to the right. While both have proven to be valuable as depth pieces, at the guard spots, learning to play center is a completely different animal. It's more the process of it is completely different because everybody is off of you, Bass said last June. When I'm at right guard, I'll walk up and know where we're going, but at center, you're making those calls. It's just different, just trying to get the process down. Given the rookie season that Beebe had, there's a good chance that he remains at the center position for the Cowboys going forward, but it's never a bad thing to have options. Now, Brian Schottenheimer, new offensive coordinator Clayton Adams, and Riley will have to work to assemble the best front 5 they can going into their first season together in 2025.